Okay, so for those of you here as well, I just to establish like some rules of interactions, everyone has been muted because there's going to be quite a lot of people joining in and out. So there's going to be lots of movement going on in, the chat rooms as well. So please try and write only relevant questions in the chat room, just so that we don't overload our CMs that are helping us and the team helping us as well. We are going to try and answer everyone's questions. But at the same time, please keep in mind that while I'm presenting, I am probably going to answer your questions. So wait until, I've finished some parts so that you can ask the appropriate questions. If you guys can please also just keep a nice team atmosphere here. We want to obviously grow together, all of us. And we are very excited to have you guys be part of CESS and show the interest for the ambassador program that we have just launched. We did not expect so much attention from it. I think we've had over 400 applications. So I think it's going to be really great to be able to work with all of you. And yeah, let's establish a sense of community because we're all working for the same goal. Right, so I'm going to start off again with a structure for those of you that weren't here. So today we're going to go over the CESS intro, and we're going to have a 10-minute or 5-minute Q&A followed by the ambassador introduction. And then we're going to have a 5 or 10-minute Q&A to answer any of your questions. We will be providing all the material that you're going to see here today. So don't worry too much about taking notes because you're going to have this as well. I'd prefer you guys to just focus on the talk, focus on really the details of what we want you guys to do and our expectations as a team and the values that we hold. And then we're also going to have a short message from Jessie Dye. She's one of our co-founders. So we're going to start off with that if you guys are ready. So I'm just gonna ask Keke if you can unmute Jessie, please.
Hello everyone, I'm Jessie, co-founder of CESS. I would like to extend a warm welcome to each one of you who have expressed your interest in CESS Ambassador Program. Thank you for all your dedication and commitment to our mission to build a decentralized and secure world. The CESS Ambassador Program is an essential component of our efforts to empower and inspire individuals to contribute to the development and growth of our project. We firmly believe that by working together, we can achieve great things and make significant impact in the blockchain space. As the co-founder of CESS, I'm incredibly excited about this program and the opportunity it provides to working alongside individuals who share our vision for a better future. We are committed to providing you with the tools, resources, and the support you need to succeed as a CESS ambassador. I encourage you to take full advantage of this opportunity, use your talent and expertise to contribute to the success of our project, and to engage with CESS community. Thank you again for expressing your wish to join us on this journey, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thanks, Jessie. Right, so I'm going to start sharing my screen now, guys. We're going to go straight into the CESS introduction. So just sit back, pay attention. This normally takes about 25 minutes. I'm going to try and slow down a little bit just so that, I don't say things and you guys not understand it very well. If you don't understand things or if you have questions, just note it down. Maybe put it on the chat. The CMs might be able to answer these questions. If they can't answer the questions immediately, I will be given these questions at the end of this introduction, and I will address them verbally. Okay. Oh, sorry, guys. Okay, right, guys. So CESS, we are Cumulus Encrypted Storage System. That can be a bit of a mouthful, so we are better known as CESS, and we're a Web3 data ownership reimagined. We focus on providing large-scale decentralized cloud data solutions. For commercial enterprises is like our main target market, but obviously we want this to be a mass adoption solution for decentralized storage worldwide. So CESS is a full stack decentralized storage solution. And by full stack decentralized storage solution means that we have every component to provide different aspects for what a company or an organization may need. So the first part of CESS is our data storage functionality. So this is where it says here, Cumulus Encrypted Storage System. So this functionality can be accessed even if you're not part of the decentralized cloud data network infrastructure. So this can be a plugin, and someone can just access this if that is all that they require from us. Following, we've got our decentralized cloud data network infrastructure. Inside this infrastructure, we have the blockchain layer, like all of our innovations, our proof schemes, our newly developed mechanisms. All of this new technology lies inside the decentralized cloud data network infrastructure. And then we have what is the CESS ecosystem. So we want people to also build their dApps on us. We can provide this infrastructure. And one of the goals for CESS is to build a robust and a diverse ecosystem. By building a diverse and robust ecosystem, we are not just benefiting CESS, but we're looking to benefit our partners, the people building on CESS, and the users, which are going to take the biggest advantage of this all. Very similar to Polkadot, we want to create that strong ecosystem so that everyone within it can progress and explore Web3 the way it should be done. So this is a quick analysis of the storage market. So on the left-hand side, we've got the global storage market size. So this is in billion US dollars, but this is all the global market storage. So it's decentralized, centralized, everything, right? And if we focus on the actual decentralized storage market, it's a lot less. So there is such a big gap that needs to be filled. And this is where we believe that CESS can really come to provide a solution, because we actually do already have decentralized storage providers. However, they have their own industry challenges, which is why we haven't had that quick of an adoption into decentralized storage compared to centralized storage. So the industry challenges that are currently being faced by decentralized storage in commercial storage track is data vulnerability. So this means that your data is vulnerable because a storage miner can quit, So if they're storing your data and they decide that they no longer want to be a miner, your data can be lost with them. You can have unexpected node failures, and you can also have hack attempts, but you're going to have hack attempts with any sort of storage solutions. You also have inefficient use of storage space. So there's no cloud pooling technologies that are used. And by cloud pooling, I mean that you've got idle resources. So you've got scattered bits of data that are too small sometimes to be able to be used. So those end up being like wasted resources. There's also a really slow data retrieval within decentralized industry, which makes it really hard to become applicable for large-scale enterprises, because we need that fast data processing, so they lack an indexing functionality at the moment. And there's a very limited commercial use for these providers because they have a limited API capability. They lack smart contracts. Sometimes they're not compatible across different chains. There's so many things that can affect a decision of how they're going to be used in the market. So CESS has implemented a few solutions to get around this. So we've actually tackled them all individually in an attempt to create the perfect decentralized storage provider. So CESS has a really high data assurance. So we've implemented two new technologies into CESS. One is proof of data reduplication and recovery, and the other one is proof of dynamic data. So these are proof schemes that add security onto files that are being stored, the assets that are being stored. I'm going to go deeper into those technologies in a few minutes time. We also provide a storage space maximization. So this is a smart space management system, and basically it pools your technology. So we won't have wasted resources. It means that miners can get paid more at the end of the day. They get more rewards. We have more storage space. It's just sustainable, a lot more sustainable. And we also have a fast data retrieval. So we have improved the architecture design of CESS. It's got a layered architecture. We're going to talk about that very soon. And we've included an indexing functionality with that. So we have millisecond data retrieval speeds. So we're going to have a Web3 solution, a true Web3 solution that is going to have Web2 performance capabilities. So that is super exciting. And it's going to be a big stepping stone for decentralized storage to gaining mass adoption. We're also widely applicable for most commercial use cases. So what we've done is that we have a very comprehensive API. And this API has EVM compatibility, and also WASM smart contracts can be deployed here. So we tackled both languages, trying to create more variety for adoption as well. Right, so I'm going to talk about the high data assurance technology first. So this is the key technology, proof of data reduplication and recovery. Normally, you'll see it as PODR squared. That's the abbreviation that we use all the time. So when we reduplicate data, so by default, other decentralized storage providers, when you upload a file onto the system, there's no copies made of it, so if that one file is lost, then your data is lost. And this can happen if a miner quits. So in CESS, what we do is by default, we triplicate your data. This is at no cost to the user or to the client. So this is like already guarantee that we have a spare of a spare as well. So we guarantee your data recovery. Once you upload the file and we triplicate the data, the files, then we process them. Like the processing of the files, they're sliced into small chunks and they're encrypted. And then these are going to be sent across different storage nodes that are going to be global, because that's decentralized storage structure. So no one node is going to have a full file, and there's going to be 3 identical copies of that individual little slice. So we have a very, very high guaranteed data recovery, but we also guarantee your data integrity, because there is protocols in place that will have to check the integrity of your data. And when we have all of these, like a triplicated system, we have something to check against. So we do guarantee data integrity and data recovery. And this is something that we need to shout about. So obviously you're all coming in with the purpose of wanting to be part of CESS. This is something that we always are very proud of: our guaranteed data recovery and our guaranteed data integrity. So let's have a look at our CESS architecture. So the layered architecture, we're going to focus on the distributed storage layer at the moment. So as you can see here, you've got the storage miners at the bottom, and they are like the consensus miners are overlooking them. So the data is, as I said, scattered across storage miners, and then the consensus miner will periodically check that these files are still incorrupt. The storage miner will have to provide their proof schemes. So they need to say that the data hasn't been tampered with. They're going to have the proof of the space-time. So it's how long they have stored data over a given period of time. They're going to have to provide their available data storage space. So how much storage space they've got left in the system. And they have to provide a proof of flow as well. So how their systems are operating. Because, for example, if we are storing these files across, people's individual servers across the world, they need to be online and running all the time because we need to have access to that. So those proof schemes are going to generate the final reward that storage miner is going to receive. And the consensus miner will keep a ledger of all of these transactions that happen, but also a ledger of where things are across the system and the availability that we have in the system. So this overview is really important because it opens the possibility to how we provide our cloud pooling technologies. So then we go to the smart space management, right? So if we know all the resources that are available throughout our storage nodes, we can pool that available space because we slice our files, right? So this image, I'll explain a little bit more in depth. So let's imagine that these are 4 nodes here. So you've got node 1, node 2, node 3, and node 4. So there's 1 terabyte of available space, 2 terabytes of available space in the next one, 4 terabytes in the next one, and 8 terabytes of available space in node 4. However, if I need to store a data file that is 8 terabytes, I can only store it on the 4th node, right? Because that is the one that has the max availability. But then if I wanted to store something afterwards that was 6 terabytes, there's actually no available storage space because they don't slice their files. So that is where CESS comes in. So we can actually gather everyone's available storage space because of how we slice our files. So imagine you've got, you've been shopping, you come back home and your fridge is packed, it's full, there's no space left. You can actually find that if you were to slice everything up and put it in containers stacked up, you can maximize every part of every space inside your fridge. So that's what we're doing. We're really putting every bit of available space to use. So we're not going to be wasting our resources. We're not going to be wasting the miners' resources. And it's going to provide for a lot more value to these idle resources as well. Currently, we are in the testnet VO.5.3. As of the 30th of March, so we had 5,099 active storage nodes. So this has been a massive incrementation, really. And we're expecting this to really ramp up as well. So part of what we're going to be aiming at over the next couple of months is to really get people's knowledge to spread the word of CESS and to get these storage miners more enrolled into the system. You know, we've got a very low barrier to entry for storage miners. It's very easy to set up. We will also have workshops about setting up nodes. We're probably going to do them in the next week or so. We're going to send those to you guys as well, just so if you do have questions about that, we will address them very soon. Right. So now let's go on to our consensus mechanism. So our consensus mechanism uses our key technology of random rotational selection. So what random rotational selection does is that it provides an open participation for nodes to become a candidate consensus node. So we will have all of our consensus nodes, but only 11 consensus nodes are going to create a transaction, are going to generate transactions, like a block generation, every 2 weeks. So what we do is that we randomly select the consensus nodes that are going to provide transaction generation. What this does is that it stops the same nodes always generating blocks, because that tends to be a problem sometimes. It's almost like it's centralizing the people constantly generating those blocks. So we want to provide fair participation and equal opportunities to all consensus nodes. This is also like very energy efficient. So there's low computational requirements for these consensus nodes to reach consensus. This happens, this is a credible process. It's a trusted execution environment as well. Down here, you'll see that TEE. TEE is also something that we speak about a lot in CESS. We will go through this in our client interactions afterwards. So yeah, very important terminology for us is that trusted execution environment. So the consensus nodes will also have a credit rating per se. So imagine nodes that have a poor performance. We need to find a way, well, we have found a way, the credit rating, that's going to replace these nodes that are not performing well. So this random rotational selection assures that we have open participation, that we have the best possible nodes working for us, and it provides that rotation of 11 nodes to provide consensus every 2 weeks. All right, the next technology is MDRC. So MDRC is a multi-format data rights confirmation. It's actually very simple, but it's very, very important. So with a multi-format data rights confirmation, we extract a fingerprint from a file. This can be, you know, data rights confirmation is quite a big thing in certain industries, like, you know, say like a creative writer, something like that, or music, art. So essentially what we're doing is that we're extracting a fingerprint of this file. And then this fingerprint is going to be stored on the blockchain through smart contracts. This fingerprint has a SimHash data similarity check algorithm. So it is kind of like a hashing, but not a hashing. It's a very similar thing. And what it does is this confirms the owner's data rights and the relationship map of that data as well. So for providing like data ownership and rights confirmation, this is such an important tool that we have available. Okay, so let's move on to our client interactions. So place yourself in the position of a user coming to CESS. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to inquire for the price that how much is it going to be to store my data in CESS. So you're going to, this CESS is going to provide you with a real-time pricing. this is actually a very smart thing about CESS, is that we have an oracle that can see our competitors' pricing, and what we do is that we provide a cheaper price. So we're always very price competitive. So it's a dynamic real-time pricing mechanism. So that's very important because it allows us to come into the market and say, hey, we're cheaper, we're faster, and we're more secure. Those selling points are key selling points for any user, right? So once the client has accepted the payment, he's going to upload his files. Now, these files are then going to be sliced, so that proof of data duplication and recovery. We're going to slice, encrypt, and scatter. And this here, I want you guys just to pay attention to this. So we have this outlined border between gateway and blockchain. And this is where our trusted execution environment happens. And it's so important to have this trusted execution environment because we won't have, CESS won't have access to view your data. And this is the thing about decentralization. So we put our trust in a trustless entity. So there's no need for trust because this is all done by the algorithms. It's completely encrypted. Everything is very, very, very secure. So what's going to happen there after those files are sliced and scattered is that they're going to go onto our storage nodes. So this is what I was talking about, our storage nodes having to provide these proof schemes for our consensus nodes that they're going to get the rewards from. So they provide the proof of data reduplication and recovery. They need to say, hey, this data file is still intact. It is not been tampered with. It's ready to go. We have full access of it. So that's how we're going to generate the rewards for the storage node. Then when the user wants to download the files, this is just going to be returned, retrieved, decrypted, reassembled, and this all happens in milliseconds. So this is like the beauty of it. We have provided a solution that is not only super safe, but it's also fast and cheap, So let's just move on to our next page, which is our product services. So this has actually been something relatively new, our product services. We've created Web3 services that have a Web2 performance. So again, this is something that's going to help mass adoption because we want those large-scale enterprises to be able to use us. And that's only going to happen really if we have that Web2 performance. So we've got dshare, and this is sharing made simple. I'm sure you guys have read our dshare documents that we have sent out. I'm not going to go too deep into them because we will have talks about these services as well. We have dcloud. So dcloud is your data access. It's anytime, it's anywhere. It's that full, complete control over your decentralized data storage. And then we have DOSS. So DOSS is Web3 storage with Web2 performance. So DOSS is a tool. It's a decentralized object storage service. And it's a tool for HTTP API storage. And it also retrieves unstructured data and metadata objects. So the advantages to having this is that you have a fast data reading and writing. It's super scalable, super secure. You have an ability to do real-time data sharing, real-time data collaborations. Like that's super impressive to have something like that run on a blockchain protocol. And then we have a specific privacy management. So you can choose to grade certain documents through permissions. So it also provides that like customizable aspect to your data management. And it's a massive storage. So 1,000 buckets per account. Hold on. Okay, so now we're just going to have a quick overview of some of the technologies and innovations that we have mentioned, just because it is quite a lot of information. So just going over again, our proprietary technologies and innovations are smart space management, maximizing resources, reducing waste, proof of data reduplication and recovery. This achieves data integrity and availability. Our facilitated commercial use, right? We've got that API that's comprehensive. We've got EVM compatibility, and we have WASM smart contracts as well. We've got fast data retrieval because of the way our architecture design has been meticulously improved, and it has that indexing functionality. We have our data rights ownership, so that's MDRC, multi-format data rights confirmation. This is great for creators. And we have a fair incentive mechanism through our random rotational selection consensus mechanism. So those are like the highlights of what we have spoken about right now, the last 20, 25 minutes. And what are the use cases for CESS? What are the use cases for all these technologies? So the use cases are actually so many. And this is just a few of them. So our use cases are anywhere from decentralized data marketplaces, to like, we can provide asset royalty support. Transactions can be shared of any data type. Obviously, we've got the development for decentralized cloud storage. So we can facilitate deployment and hosting of websites. We can provide the full storage for all client applications. We can have developers build the DApps on our enterprise level ecosystem, like native applications can launch directly on CESS platform. We can have decentralized social media and streaming medias as well. So you can create, store, live stream any type of data files. You can collaborate, real-time collaboration between artists. So we want to connect all of these possibilities together. And again, this ties back into our ecosystem. And then we are the layer 1 blockchain storage, right? So we're low cost, secure, dynamic. And like I said before, our selling points is cheaper, safer, faster, right? So now let's just have a quick look at the roles of miners and their incentives. So obviously you've got like the storage miner. They provide storage for the CESS network. They provide those proof schemes for integrity, for data protection. It's that like extra net of safety for the users and for us as well. Got the consensus miner, right? They record, maintain the decentralized ledger of transactions, and they record the scheduling use of storage space of the nodes, right? Then we have the retrieval and cache miners. So this is actually where the indexing functionality comes in. I'm just going to show you guys again that architecture slide. So we focused on the distributed resource storage layer. The content delivery layer, that's where we have deployed these 2 new miners onto the system. So what they do is that they allow individual miners to specialize in their roles. So this creates a much faster, more efficient and streamlined architecture. So this is where our indexing functionality comes in. It comes through our retrieval miners and our cache miners. And then obviously we have the staking part of the set. So staking profits are proportional to your staking allocation. So this is one of our development highlights. I'm sure you guys have read about CESS and Polkadot already. We're very proud partners of Polkadot and our collaborations with them. We're very intricately involved with them. We like to participate in many Polkadot projects. We've been a part of Polkadot Decoded in Argentina, in China, in New York. We've done Polkadot events in London. And it's a fantastic partnership. And we have provided a decentralized storage functionality through a substrate palette for Polkadot and for their ecosystem and their parachains. So that means that over 400 projects are able to use that decentralized storage functionality through our substrate palette. So again, that's like such a big milestone for CESS to have been able to achieve this. Not only that, but then we achieved first place in a Polkadot hackathon. So that was 2021. And 3 times we have been awarded Web3 Foundation grants, which is absolutely amazing, because it also means that they keep believing in our technologies. We've proven constantly now that we can deliver these technologies, and we've received 3 foundation grants now. We've completed the Substrate Builders program that was done between January last year to March this year, and we participated in the Web3 Foundation Bootcamp as well. So that's our Polkadot's Substrate Web3 Foundation partnerships. Now, with CESS, we want to build without boundaries as well. So obviously, it's not just about Polkadot, it's about having people come into us, into our system, or if people want that functionality of storage, we can provide that for them as well. So there is no limit as to where we want to go. We want to just complete our vision of providing a better, safer, more secure, decentralized Web3 space. And it's not just for us, it's for everyone. So the solutions are also beyond Web3. Now, one of the goals of CESS, and one of the ways we want to position ourselves, is we want to be that project that is bridging the gap between Web 2 and Web 3. So we want to facilitate Web 2 companies into that Web 3 environment. And this is where, we've got a fantastic team of developers behind us. We've got that ecosystem, and we've got the partnerships. So we can really facilitate this change. And this is really something that, needs to happen over the next few years to really get that mass adoption movement happening. This technology can be used for medical institutions. It can be used for banks, for governments, universities. It can be used for any sort of record, really any sort of data that is in the Web 2 space. It can be made better with our Web 3 solutions. This is the roadmap that we have had. I'm not going to delve too much into the roadmap because it's quite a bit, but just looking at where we are at the moment, we're very close to launching our mainnet. So obviously that's very, very exciting. And that's why we wanted to pair up that with the ambassador program as well, because we're at a position now where we're ready to shout about our project and to let people know who we are, what we're doing, what we want to change as well. So here we have a few success stories. This is just media that we have had in the past few months. Again, just more media over the last few months. We really have all this great content that's coming out from CESS. We're going to go into content soon with the ambassador introduction, but yes, that's just part of it. This is an overview of our team. So we have there Jessie, our co-founder. She gave the speech at the start of this meeting, and this is just a very small part of the team, really, because we want our team to grow, right? We want this CESS family to grow. We want to grow with ambassadors. So we expect this to grow substantially over the next few months, few years. So yeah, I just want to invite you guys to be part of our story, be part of our journey. And yeah, this was your CESS introduction. So I'm just going to check if there has been any questions that I can answer for you guys. Hold on. Okay, I don't think. Okay, I don't think we've got. Yeah, I don't think we've got questions on on the introduction. So that's great. Just to let you guys know again, we will do more sessions on our technologies. So that is, again, just a brief introduction to CESS. We will do seminars, like workshops, based on the ambassador track that you're going to do as well. So let me just get the ambassador introduction ready for you guys. Right, perfect. So here we go with our ambassador introduction. I believe this is what we've all been waiting for. Okay, so here we have the ambassador recruitment. So first of all, thank you for all the interest that you guys have shown to become CESS ambassadors. This is going to be a 3-month probationary period. So over these 3 months, we're going to be completing tasks. We're going to be recording our progress, recording our growth, and we really want you guys to showcase your talent. We do obviously have these delegated tasks that are going to be set. I'm going to go into the task sheet soon, but I just want to state that you can go beyond, you can go above and beyond what is expected of you. We want to see creativity, we want to see originality, we want people to be unique as well as completing the tasks that they have been assigned. Remember, we're looking for that person that can stand out. So the deadline for the task completion, the submission of your work, is going to be on the 28th of June 2023. So again, that's 3 months. We're going to review your work afterwards. It's probably going to take us a week or two to review who are the top performers and who will receive the ambassador role and the ambassador reward. So we have established that the ambassador reward will consist of 100,000 CESS tokens. So it's a very generous reward, really. Obviously it's such a fantastic opportunity to have 100,000 CESS tokens as a reward. This reward will be paid once our mainnet launches, so it is very soon. But yeah, I think that's an absolutely fantastic opportunity for you guys to be able to get quite a substantial amount of tokens from a project that still hasn't launched yet. So there's so much possibility with the value of that. So let's go, sorry, 2 seconds. Let's go into the first step of becoming an ambassador, like our ambassador roadmap. So the first thing that we want you guys to do really is to understand your tasks well. I believe that we have already sent a link in the ambassador Telegram group chat with this task list and contribution record template as well. So I'm just going to show you guys this screenshot of it. So you need to understand what you're doing with your task and what is being asked of you. So for example, here it just says follow CESS social platforms, right? So what is going to be the evidence of you completing that? You need to have, have the Twitter there, have the Telegram there, the Discord, and you need to provide us with that evidence. So the evaluation of it, because it's something that can be done very easily, is so it's just a qualified evaluation. But then the evaluation will change depending on the task. So if you look at the next one, it's like, comment, and retweet, CESS platform, and the updates. So there can be quality in that. So just because you're retweeting something, you can actually create your own words for that as well. You can, if you have a big follower community as well, like how many likes are you getting? Like, are you really reaching out a lot? So you can have the unqualified, maybe does not pay enough attention to and rarely retweets the news of CESS. Qualified would be just retweeting, commenting on posts on different platforms every day. And then we have the high qualified. That's going to be like, they have that extra bit about them. Like they actually get so many likes on their posts. When they retweet, they do quote tweets, and they have really good marketing hooks. They really attract people's attention. That's what's going to start separating the great work from the average work and from the bad work. So once you've understood your tasks, it's super important that you record your tasks. Hold on, let me just, so that you record your tasks. So it's worthless if it's not recorded. If it's not recorded, it didn't happen. So the template for the tasks is also in the link that has been sent onto the group. So your tasks are going to be different based on your ambassador track, right? So technical, content, and community, they're all going to have slightly different tasks, and you can have different creativity and uniqueness within these ambassador tracks. So our technology ambassador, for example, they can host a hackathon. Our community ambassadors, they can do Twitter spaces. Content ambassador can create podcasts. They can create graphics. We've actually had someone already create little CESS stickers as well in the Telegram group. That's fantastic. That's content and that's uniqueness. And it may not seem like a big thing to do, but if you're the first person to do it and you weren't asked to do it, that's what we want. We want people to have that initiative to just step out of their comfort zone and just do things, So we want you to record that progress. That's the imminent part of it. This is an example of that progress being recorded. So if you've been tasked with inviting more people to participate in the ambassador program, record it. Just write down the email address of that person. If you write articles about CESS and decentralized storage, and then you post them on your social platforms, if you just tell us, oh yeah, I wrote this article about CESS and I've posted it on my LinkedIn, we can't see it. So give us the link, write the dates, send those things to us so that we can help you as well. And it's important as well, like when you are writing articles about CESS or you want to create content about CESS, not only is it good and beneficial for you to record this data, but it's actually great if we know beforehand so that we can check this data with you as well, because we obviously don't want misinformation going out there. So, for example, people are going to translate articles. We need to make sure that the original articles are correct first. So we're going to ask you guys to, if you are writing articles, send them through to us and we'll be like, yeah, this is perfect. This is fine. Maybe it needs a little bit more work and we can point you in the right direction, or it can be absolutely fantastic. And we're going to say, hey, I tell you what, let's post this article through the CESS accounts and you can get credit for that. So that's, again, like the ambassador providing that extra level of, skill set, like really valuable contributions. Two seconds, it's just loading. So again, our probation deadline, this all needs, like your contributions, your work, everything needs to be submitted before the 28th of June or on the 28th of June. Like it can't be any later than that. Any submissions that are later than that, unfortunately, are not going to be considered for the first batch of ambassadors. But you can be considered for the second batch of ambassadors, which is actually really important, right? So we have over 300, we have about 400 applicants right now. not everyone is going to be selected to be a CESS ambassador. Only the best candidates are going to be selected to be CESS ambassadors. If you're not selected on the first batch, you can still apply to be a CESS ambassador. And we actually encourage that, because you will have learned so much about CESS in that initial 3 months that the second time round, you might have much better knowledge than the new applicants. So please do apply. Even if you're not successful in the first batch, apply again. And the great thing is that your work contributions that you have recorded for your first ambassador, that is transferred over to your second application. So you're taking that work with you. So we're still considering, hey, this person has actually done a lot more work. So you're going to have better opportunities, you're going to have more knowledge, and you're going to have a better skill set. So hopefully that's going to give you the tools to stand out in that second round of ambassador applications. So let's talk about the ambassador evaluation now. So once the work has been submitted to us, we're going to form a recruiting team, a panel of judges. This panel, people are going to review your work, is going to consist of many people within the CESS core team. We want different inputs, because obviously, we've got tech, content, and community. So it needs to be different people across our core team that are going to review this. And we're going to be tasked with trying to establish a value for your work. And we're going to determine this based on the quality of the work that you provide, on the consistency of the work that you provide, creativity, originality. All of this is going to assign you that work contribution value. And this is how we're going to choose who are going to be the successful candidates and who is going to be the unsuccessful, unfortunately. As mentioned before, candidates that are selected as official CESS ambassadors, they will receive the CESS token reward of 100,000 CESS tokens. CESS ambassadors can continue to receive CESS token rewards even after they're already granted the ambassador status. So what will happen is, if you have the CESS ambassador status, official CESS ambassador, every time that you do contributions, we can put a value to your contributions, and you can generate rewards through that. So it's a really good platform for you to be able to go and speak about CESS or create more content, and you can still get those individual contributions. And again, just a reminder, the CESS tokens are going to be issued as soon as our mainnet goes live. I also wanted to comment about the CESS token rewards. So we will also be giving select token rewards to certain outstanding contributions that we may see over this 3-month period. So just because you didn't get the ambassador role, maybe you actually contributed something very important, like something very, very of good quality. So we will also be providing these airdrop rewards for the contributors that are giving this outstanding work. And once again, unsuccessful applicants, we please encourage you to try again. We want you to take part in the second phase of ambassador recruitment. Your contributions are so valued by us. And like I said before, you're going to grow so much over this 3-month period into your decentralized storage knowledge, into CESS knowledge, that it's going to be easier for you to stand out in the next phase of ambassador applications. And lastly, I just want to leave you guys with some of our contact details. So we are here to help you through the ambassador process. We're here to coach, we're here to guide. Any queries that you guys have, you can raise them in the Telegram ambassador group. We've got our CMs there as well to help. We are there to help as well. If you want to contact us directly, here's a few of our contacts. So you've got me here. I'm on marketing. Andy is a really good contact for our technology side, and Keiki does operations. So if you don't want to reach out to us on the ambassador group, feel free to reach out to us individually. Feel free to reach out to anyone. Use Discord. We're here to help. So please don't feel that you can't speak to us. Like, we want the opposite. It's arms wide open, and we want to establish a community spirit. We want to grow, and we want you to grow with us as well. Okay, so we have gone through our introductions for CESS and our ambassador program. I'm just going to check if I've got any questions from you guys. Just while I'm getting an answer for if we've got any questions, I just wanted to remind you guys that we are going to do sessions, like workshops, where we're going to do specific learning, like knowledge, information. We're going to do like the storage mechanisms. We're going to go into how to do good content, different sessions as well, different seminars. Not only this one, this has been just the main overview of CESS and the overview of the ambassador program. Okay, so I think we have had a question of how many ambassadors are going to be chosen. So we actually do not have a fixed number of positions available. If you're good at what you do, we're going to make space for you. We do want you to be part of the CESS team. So there is always space for more talent in CESS. So yeah, there's no fixed number of positions for the ambassador program. So we have had comments saying that the program seems to be a little bit long. So I just want to establish here that like it is, I believe, not too long of a process. So obviously, like, this skill set that we want you guys to demonstrate, we will also be, as I mentioned, giving reward contributions of CESS tokens for that outstanding work. So don't focus on like the end goal of like, right, so I'm only going to be rewarded after 3 months. That's not really the way that I view it. Like, you can actually earn CESS tokens, get a reward in 2 weeks' time. It depends on the value of your contribution, you know. So we're going to have high rewards, and like the contributions are going to be recorded as well. So yeah, I think, hold on, let me see if I'm getting any more questions through. Again, so we have another one based on like what happens if, you know, we don't get selected on the first batch. So again, so like your contributions are not going to be wasted if you're not in the first ambassador selection batch. So those contributions are going to move across to the second phase of ambassador applications. We do encourage you to apply, because you're going to have learned so much more about CESS. You're going to have better tools. You're going to be better equipped to stand out over the next candidates. All right, so I think that is it for now. If you guys do have any other questions afterwards, of course, please contact us. Feel free to write in the chat. Feel free to contact me directly, Keiko directly, Andy. And again, we already know where our task lists are. These have been highlighted in the ambassador application group. So you can start completing tasks. if you want to discuss your work with the other ambassadors in the group, by all means, like, we need to create this sense of community, right? And again, I just urge you to like keep that, you know, real like vision of what we're trying to achieve here. And it's not supposed to be an easy process, but it's going to be a rewarding process for everyone. You know, like, we are going to reward that high quality, consistent, original, unique work. So yeah, it's been a pleasure to speak with you guys today. Again, thank you so much for the interest that you guys have shown in the ambassador program and with CESS as well. I'm going to roll out a schedule of the next calls that we're going to be doing. We're going to try and do them shorter, so maybe like a 20-minute sessions. We're going to be doing different languages as well. So if you do speak different languages, shout out, because you know we can record this in different languages. I'm going to try to do a Spanish one over the next week, but yeah, we'll send out a schedule to you guys. So just keep updated in the ambassador group. Again, we use that group to keep you guys updated with relevant information, with new technology updates. Like, please use that as your hub of information. So yeah, thanks everyone. I'm just going to ask the host if she can close the meeting, please, KK.